Hey guys, Guitar Stringer here again. I wanted to talk a little bit about DIY oil change, do it yourself. And you know, I looked up some videos on YouTube and saw quite a different people that had posted something about oil change, and I found a guy that I can't remember the username. I'll try to look it back up again, but he was changing oil on a Kawasaki Ninja. It was a 636, I believe, or 600 versus 1,000 is what I have. But my question is, when you're checking the oil level on your bike before or even after oil change, you check it when it's warm or cold. And so I thought that, from my understanding, was when it's cold, it should be on the lower notch in the glass oil level viewer, I guess is what you call it, on the side of the bike. And when it's hot, it should be at the top notch, or close to the top notch, or somewhere in between the two. But I think I put in a little over 3 liters of oil, which is what the bike calls for. And after I did that, it seemed to be overfilled. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and start it up, let the oil circulate and double check it. And it may have been a little, about maybe 3.5 liters. I'm guessing I might have been half a liter too full, so I dumped some out, drained it out, and then it seemed to be that I was getting too much oil. It was too full. Or, I'm sorry, it was less, too less. Not enough oil in there. So I had to come back in. And I've been kind of back and forth trying to do this, and then today, before I left, it looked like my level was too full after I had to come back in. And I thought, well, when I was doing it yesterday, I kept on adding it until it was right there in the middle. And it wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot. It was just barely warm. I mean, the bike had been started for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes or so. Ran and circulated, and then turned back off. And so I'm real curious if anybody has any good posts or any comments on the exact amount of oil to put in a ZX-10R, an 05 Ninja, of course, and how exactly, this was with a filter change as well, so I changed the oil, and I changed the filter, and I put in 2050 weight, just standard, not the synthetic motorcycle oil. And I just wanted to see if anybody had any comments or any advice on that. Now I've changed oil on cars and dirt bikes, but never on a street bike. I always had a friend of mine that I'd have do it for me, and I decided to do it myself. It's not really that complicated, other than the fact that the last dealership that I had my tire changed, I went ahead and decided to let them do the oil change this time, and apparently they didn't lube the oil gasket, and I almost didn't get it off. I almost had to take it to the shop, or I almost had to take the header pipes off just to get to it, to get a wrench on it to pull it off, because I'd mangled that thing up with a pair of pliers trying to get it off. And anybody decides to do oil change themselves, I definitely highly recommend them getting an oil filter removal tool to get it off with. It was a bear to get it off, and I basically had chewed that thing up to almost nothing before I finally got it off. And from what I understand, you're supposed to put that thing on one turn tight after it gets flush with the surface of the motor where it screws on. And then you're supposed to go like 1 to 1 1/4 turns after you get it sealed. So, anyways, if anybody has any input on that, I'd really appreciate it. It would really help me out. I've kind of been on forums looking to see about that. So, I really haven't, I seem to be getting differences of opinion here and there. It's sure running a lot better. I was way past due. I guess that's not a good thing. I usually don't do that on cars. I cleaned the chain, lubed it up real good, got all the gunk out of it, and it sure makes a difference on how it rides once you get the oil change and everything's lubing good, and then you got the chain all nice and with the right tension and lubed up. So, anyways, anybody want to hit me back on this and let me know their opinion or any advice on it, I'd really appreciate it. This is Guitar Stringer, GTR Stringer signing out. You guys have a good one. Drive safe, have fun.